When you first log in to IPA, you'll see the summary screen. It says Planning at a Glance at the top, and it shows you a timeline of important dates that are coming up. Now, in this case, it's simply showing me when various terms from the registrar end, but if I had any other important dates in here, perhaps a teaching call that I set a due date on, that would appear in here as well. One of the first things you're going to want to do when you gain access to IPA is to configure what we call your work group. Now, some users have one work group, other users may have multiple work groups. What a work group is a set of related data, such as a schedule and the list of instructors who go with it. So if you plan for a single department, you may have one work group, but if you plan for 2 or 3 separate departments, you may have 2 or 3 separate work groups. The navigation bar here on the left is an important feature of IPA. I want to quickly note that sometimes if you click this toggle button here, it may look like this, and you can just click the button again to expand it. This is simply for your convenience. But your list of work groups appears in the navigation bar. In this case, I belong to 3 work groups, DSSIT, which is a fake work group named after the development team of IPA. And then I have computer science and psychology, who were 2 customers in the early days of IPA. To set up your work group, what you want to do is find the name of your work group here on the left, and then click very specifically on the gear icon. Don't just click on the name, but click on the gear icon here, where it says Manage DSSIT. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And after a moment, you'll see this page comes up with 3 tabs along the top: Tags, Locations, and People and Roles. So we're going to go through these one by one. Tags are a completely optional but very useful feature of IPA where you can make up a label. It can say whatever you want. In this case, we have dance, help desk analysis, server administration, and software development. And then you can also assign a color. What these tags are arbitrary sort of pieces of information, almost like post-it notes, that you can put on your courses as you're planning them. So in various views, such as when you're assigning instructors, or when you're designing how many students should go through a course, or when you're laying out lectures and discussions on a calendar, you can say, show me only this tag, or show me only the following tags, or don't show me the following tags. So it's a completely optional feature, but a number of customers do find it helpful, and you can go ahead and, again, make up whatever you would like. The second tab, Locations, refers to any custom locations that you may have where you teach courses. So these are locations not controlled by the registrar, but which you need to put courses in. Not everyone has locations that they offer courses in that are not controlled by the registrar, but if you do, you're going to want to add them to this list so that they can appear in other parts of the program. But perhaps the most important tab of all to check here is the People and Roles tab. This is going to be a list of all of the people in this particular work group. So again, if you schedule for multiple departments, this list is only going to be for one of those departments. But this list is all the graduate students that you're going to be doing any TA calls with. It's all of the instructors, be they Senate or Federation instructors or lecturers that you're going to want to do a teaching call with or even assign, as well as all of the people involved in the academic planning process. So that is probably you, the primary watcher of this video, and then maybe some of your colleagues. You want to make sure that all of the individuals are on this list. If they are not on the list, you can use this search here in the upper right to go ahead and search for them. And after a moment or two, it will come back with a list. You can select a name from the list and then click the Add Person button, and after a moment they will appear. We currently default them to being Senate instructors, but if that's incorrect, you can go ahead and mark what they actually are and then unmark the things that they are not. Of course, if anyone is on this list who shouldn't be on the list, you can use this little red remove button over here. Click to remove, and after a moment they should disappear. So it's very important when you first gain access to IPA that you look at these 3 tabs, Tags, Locations, and People and Roles. and ensure that everything is in order. And again, if you have multiple work groups, you'll see them listed here on the side, and you'll need to click the gear icon for each one individually and configure these.